here we are. The first half of the Mega Man NES games. Mega Man 3. Now that we've gotten here, I'd like to quickly look back and just summarize my opinions of the first two games for a little bit like a roundup. Mega Man 1 is a mess with fun parts in it, but I still enjoyed it. Mega Man 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's a masterpiece, and it's one of the main reasons I play video games. I enjoy video games. It's just, Mega Man 2 is a game that's very important to me. So if in this video it sounds harsh towards if I sound harsh towards this game, or if I sound like I'm nitpicking, it's because I am. I'm reviewing a game. My job isn't to go easy on it, it's to give a criticism of it, and my thoughts on it. But if it sounds like I'm not a Mega Man fan, well, that's where you're wrong, because I am a gigantic Mega Man fan. And every game series has that one game that disappoints, and coming off how good Mega Man 2 is, this game has a lot to live up to. So let's see if it does that. Let's boot up the game and see. Well, Mega Man 2 had a great opening, so how do you build on such a great opening? I'm excited, let's see it, and oh, that's it, huh? Black screen. Like Mega Man 1. Hopefully this doesn't set the standard for the game's level design by regressing backwards and being worse than Mega Man 2. By the way, foreshadowing is great, right? I love foreshadowing. Let's briefly touch on the game's mechanics. It has super tight controls, and now Mega Man can slide. Yes, that's right, we have a slide, ladies and gentlemen. It took 3 games to get here, but we have it, and it will be a staple of the series for most. And I mean most, not every, but most games going forward. Anyway, so we'll boot up the first stage and see it. Also, Rush is here, just replacing generically named I-123. But in my opinion, Rush is more of like a neat addition to just adding personality instead of, like, you know, gameplay mechanics, though he does add to the gameplay a bit. But now let's actually look at the stages. And one last by the way, because you thought you can get away with only one by the way. I beat this game off the TV, and I've also beaten it on 3DS. So, any footage here is just recorded from another playthrough where I did use cheat codes just to get footage for the review. So let's get started in my first play session, where I played Magnet Man stage, and I wasn't impressed at all. It just felt like another Mega Man stage. Sure, there's like the cool mechanic of like being lifted up by the the magnets that are flying around, but that's really it. And the game just suffers from slowdown. Pro Man is not that exciting to fight in my opinion. It's just stand there, shoot some lemons, slide under him, and shoot some more lemons. There's just not a lot to it in my opinion. Magnet Man's boss fight isn't that interesting. It's just, ooh, watch out for the magnets, Mega Man. And like, it's not awful, it's just not that interesting. Hard Man stage is boring and not that interesting. Boss fight is not that interesting or exciting. It's kind of easy. It's boring. The game just wasn't doing much for me in my first playthrough, pretty much, is the point I want to get across. With all the repetition, the game felt repetitive and like a slog. So, I turned off the game and started writing the script. I just wasn't excited. I went into this game knowing that this was an uphill battle I had against it. Because I've always had problems with this game. And it's so hard to put aside your conceptions about a game when replaying it. I'm as ready to just make a video bashing about this game, non-stop of, well, this is awful, and I hate this part of the game. But then I just kind of sat there for a while and thought about it. And I was texting someone about, yeah, get ready for the Mega Man 3 video where I completely rip open and bash this game. And they're like, oh, this will be good. And I'm like, yeah, it should be interesting to see me bash such a well-liked game. But then I really kept thinking about it. I was like, do I want to do this? To just bash a game? So then I booted up the game again. But when I booted up, I tried something different. I tried putting myself in the mindset of someone in 1990 who bought Mega Man 3 and went home and is booting it up for the first time over 2 years after Mega Man 2. So I didn't think about the games that would be coming after this, making a review of this game. I just thought about playing it like it's the last Mega Man game for all I would know in 1990. And I played it that way. It was fun, I guess. I still don't love it. Gotcha. You thought I was gonna say, whoa, I love this game. No, I still don't love it. And in case you couldn't tell, this isn't like the other reviews, where I give a basic overview and just give my opinion. But plenty of people adore this game. So, I'm going to try to spend the rest of the video not convincing you that this is a bad game, but explaining my problems with the game and why I consider it one of my least favorite games in the Mega Man series. And if you like this game, I get it. I've talked to people before who have played this game and they've said, yeah, I love that game. And then why I say I don't like it, like, well, if you look at it this way, and I mean, I still just like it, but I can see why you guys might like it. So consider this just like one person's opinion on the internet about why they don't like Mega Man 3. My biggest problem with Mega Man 3 is it overstays its welcome. The first 8 robots, master stages are okay and stuff. They just don't interest me that much besides Snake Man. And like I mentioned earlier, stuff like the magnets flying around in Magnet Man stage are okay and kind of fun. But other than that, like the first 8 stages were just okay. Except Snake Man's, which I do like. But after you beat the first 8 robot masters, guess what, Buckaroo? You have to play 4 stages again. And now you're going up against the Mega Man 2 bosses for some reason. And it just feels like wasted time in my opinion. If I wanted to fight the Mega Man 2 bosses, I would just go play Mega Man 2. Because I guarantee you, most people playing Mega Man 3 when it first came out had already played Mega Man 2. That game was a big success. And a lot of the fun that game also was Robot Masters in it. And having to play 4 stages again just feels like a waste of time. Then you get to the Wily Castle and I just couldn't care by that point. In fact, my playthrough for this video, I actually even didn't go to Wily Castle because I'm sorry, but like, by the time I finished the first 8 Robot Master stages, I'm like, yeah, this game's really not doing much for me. Then I have to play them 4 of them again, and I'm like, wow, I'm really annoyed now. And then I get to Wily Castle, I'm like, wow, I don't even care anymore. Why do I care about this game that's not interesting me? My next problem is just the level design. I don't know, it just feels sometimes more unfair, or just not as interesting and more bland compared to Mega Man 2. And when it's not being unfair, again, it's just being uninteresting. It just feels like a Mega Man game going through the motions. Nothing special or particularly awful about it, like a certain future game. It just feels like it's a game going through a checklist of what it should have. Which is also kind of like that certain future game I just mentioned. Graphically, the game looks nice for an NES game. You may say, views, but you're listing negatives. And yeah, because the game has a lot of slowdown. And I mean a lot of slowdown. I'm flashbacks to that slowdown. And I kinda have a feeling it's because of the increased scale and graphics of this game. I think that the main problem with Mega Man 3 could be summed up with just that statement. Mega Man 3 is a game that tries to be a bigger game with a larger scale, and I feel like it just can't pull that off. There's just moments that feel like filler, like Gemini Man stage, where there's the fish eggs, which I hate. And you may say, Fuse, why aren't you talking about Wily Castle anymore? It's because, again, I didn't make it that far. The game didn't hook me. And if a game doesn't hook me, I feel like it's a waste of time to beat the game. And I've already fully beaten Mega Man 3 before, so that's my other excuse. So, I feel like if I've already beaten the game before, and the game's not hooking me, I don't want to have to, like, force myself to play a game, and make me hate it even more. then you guys probably would get a video of me completely bashing it without saying anything positive or nice about the game. Overall, Mega Man 3 does feel like my least favorite still. It just feels like it's a mess, like Mega Man 1 was. But Mega Man 1 has the excuse of, well, this was the first game. They're still learning it. Mega Man 3 just has no excuse, I feel like. I forgot the game was rushed, which, sure enough, I guess a rushed game doesn't turn out good, usually. But the game does have some good in it. I think if you're not playing it on the original NES and on the Legacy Collection, and you turn it on to get no slowdown, that's pretty good. The graphics look nice, pretty much. Rush being added is nice for personality of the game. And the slide is great. I love the slide, and I'm so glad that it's finally here. So hopefully when I take a look at Mega Man 4, that game will interest me more with the addition of the chart shot. And for those of you stuck to the end of the video, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry if this video comes off as me being overly negative or unfair to the game. It's just the game, I don't really enjoy it that much. And for now, we'll actually be taking a break from reviewing Mega Man games. Yes, that's right. There will not be the Mega Man 4 review next week. I decided that I want to be able to branch out, and I think the best way to do that is we're going to do Mega Man 4, 5, and 6 in probably November. And then 7 and everything else will be the one big final home stretch next year. But what am I doing from September to October and the beginning of November? I have some other reviews that I need to get through, and I'm doing them until pretty much the end of the year. So it's pretty likely I won't finish the Mega Man Marathon until like mid-2020, not counting the bonus episodes I might do, depending on how I feel about doing them later. And sorry this wasn't uploaded on Tuesday like other reviews, it's just I hadn't had time to record it. I've been busy lately, and yeah. Thanks for the amazing summer for the channel, by the way. I know I don't really talk about my appreciation for you guys, because I mean, I barely upload or live stream. But like, I actually appreciate like the amount of view growth and channel growth that we had this summer. You guys are awesome. But yeah, for real this time, I'm Fuse, thank you for watching, and I am signing out. Bye guys.